the other day that I'm in my Marilyn Monroe year. It's like a Jesus year when you turn 33, but Marilyn was 36 when she died, which is a crazy feeling. I haven't felt like this since I became older than the kids on Saved by the Bell. Marilyn was 36 years old when she got murdered, and now I'm about to be older than she was. It's hard to even grasp, but I'm going to try. By the time Marilyn was 36, she was in 29 movies, married 3 times, and banged a president. That's a lot of stuff to accomplish and remain hot all the while. If Marilyn was alive today, I imagine she would have the Netflix market absolutely covered. She'd have more deals on deck than Dave Chappelle. Booked and absolutely blessed. I haven't done 29 movies, but I've put out a lot of episodes of this podcast, equally as iconic as Some Like It Hot. Marilyn was also the first ever woman to be on the cover of Playboy magazine. And she was a centerfold. Her centerfold nudes she did when she was strapped for cash. She didn't do them with Hugh Hefner. She did them with someone else, and she did them under a pseudo name. And then he took the photos and ran with them. What a little skis. And she's also the best of the best. So while I blame him for being a little skis, if he is going to be a little skis, then obviously you're going to be a little skis with the best of the best. That's how Playboy got to be Playboy. I don't blame him, I just blame him. Does that make sense? I'm out here sending partials for less. And by the way, that stops now. My future husband is going to get a picture of the crease of my elbow to be thwacking it to, I'll tell you that much. She sang happy birthday to the president. If I were to get up there for Joey B today and pop out of a cake in my sexiest attire and sing happy birthday, it might go a little something like this. Happy birthday to you. You were born in 42. You've had too many birthdays to be fit to run a country. Why don't we try someone new? Everybody, happy birthday. She had her ex-husband, former Yankee Joe DiMaggio, wrapped around her little fingers. He paid for her entire funeral like a fucking cuck, only for Hugh Hefner to buy the plot next door to her. Hugh Hefner strikes again. This man does not quit. Marilyn, I love you. I always have, and it's an honor to go into my 36th year, my Marilyn year, with you as my forever icon. Now, let's go shoot some nudes.
Time for
Duh.
Rocket
Welcome to the Rocky Rundown, where you get to learn a little bit about my week. Party God Squad, hello. Did you have a good week? I hope your week has been filled with good friends and even better memories. This week has been great, and it's been interesting. And I've also had a great and interesting week because I've decided that it was going to be a great and interesting week. Now, you can't always do that, right? Sometimes life is like bang, pow, zoink, scoob, and it beats you down. But on the moments when it doesn't, say, hey, I'm going to make this one a good one. And always, for the love of Chuck, remember, sometimes you don't get the reaction from people that you want, and that's okay. Give yourself the reaction from people that you want. I took an Uber pool the other day because I forgot it wasn't 2019, and another woman got in it. And damn, this chick was tired, which makes sense. It was pushing 4 a.m., and I just saw her to my right, absolutely fighting sleep. And I wanted to say, baby angel, rest those eyes. You are safe with me. I'm not going to let this man do anything freaky to you, I promise. But isn't it crazy that you can't fall asleep in a cab because the chances of the driver taking advantage of you in that state is not a dice roll anyone should take? In order for the world to go round, we have to trust 3 things: people, stairs, and elevators. And only one of those things is consistent. And speaking of consistency, one of my favorite pastimes is going for a smoke and a walk. You know this. I listen to music, I clear my head, I think my thoughts, and I make my plans. I got some pre-rolls from a spot I like, and I like them because they like me. One time I giggled at the guy behind the counter and he gave me a free joint. So yes, I am a fan. I'm lighting up the joint from this spot when, right at the tip of the joint, there was a little prick. Ouchies. Am I right? Sock lay blue. I assume it was a seed or a stem or a stick, but upon further investigation, I found out that it was not a seed, a stem, or a stick. I came to find out it was a piece of a wood chip. Yes, a wood chip. Can you imagine? I almost let it go. I almost said, nah, we Gucci, just smoke it and go on bout to biz. But then I said, nay, what the fuck? You know as a weeder what weed is, and this was not weed. This was a mistake on the manufacturer. So I marched in there. Well, I didn't march, I kind of strutted. My weed is mulchy and I don't like it, is not what I said. I did say, hey, so I got this J from here the other day, and as I was lighting it, I found this piece of, I don't know, mulch, wood bark, drift, if you will. He stared at this weed as if he was getting $100 a second just to look at it. I've never seen anything like this before. Oh my God, wow, this is crazy. Then a standoff of eye contact. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to wait for him to say it. And then he says it. Would you, like a joint on the house? Yeah, I think that would be best. I'm not telling you this so you can now go look for wood chips in your store-bought joints. I'm telling you this so you remember to stand up for what's right. Get what's yours. Claim it. And speaking of claiming the things that you would like, I would like to claim a date night at Cipriani's downtown while we're out here claiming. I want a man ready to drop fat stacks and make a resi and take me there because I'm trying to spend my summer at Cipriani's. So lover boys, if, LOL, when you hear this, make it happen. Especially, oh my God, if you're from Chicago. If you're from Chicago and you sound like it, new kink unlocked. I mentioned in the last episode that I'm watching John Mulaney's series, Everybody's in LA, and the more I hear him speak, the more I'm like, yes, 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 I love a Chi-Town twang. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Da Bears. And speaking of LA, if you're a member of the Party God Squad, then you know I got inspired to hear the real story of the song Regulate last week. Now I've been listening to songs a lot closer, hearing what they have to say. And recently, I was listening to Sheryl Crow's All I Want to Do. You know, all I want to do is have some fun. And there's a real story behind that song. And in preparation for summer, I'm going to tell it to you. If you thought this was just a lighthearted song for song's sakes, ooh, baby, you're wrong. You're so wrong. This song paints the picture of a bar in the morning on a Tuesday in LA. Sheryl makes it clear as day that this ain't no disco. This ain't no country club either. This is LA. LA County if you're nasty. A man sitting next to Sheryl at the bar, who she wasn't previously engaging in conversation with, decides it's time to start engaging in conversation with Sheryl Crow. Out of nowhere. No idea what kind of day she might be having if she's drinking at the bar on a Tuesday morning because she needs to be or if she wants to be. But he declares he just wants to have a little fun before he dies. In fact, that's all he wants to do. And this could mean a plethora of things. He may be trying to bang Sheryl Crow. He might just be making a statement. He could be justifying an incident we are not privy to. She gives neutral inflection when she says the line, so choose your own adventure. And she doesn't get his nickname clearly, but she does get his first name, which is William. He could be Bill or Billy or Mac or Buddy. Did you guys know that Mac or Buddy were nicknames for William? I don't know. I think that's kind of fun. The bar faces a car wash, which I just think is retro. The kind of thing old school music videos are made of. So Sheryl is getting drunk and she's people watching, probably trying to concentrate and make sure old Mac there doesn't slip her a Mickey. Sheryl describes the simplicities and the intricacies of washing your car on your lunch break before you go to make the world go round. And these hard-working Americans are going to go back to their jobs, but no matter what they do and what their jobs are, they're nothing like Billy and her. Next verse, she admits she likes a good beer buzz early in the morning, which in my opinion is a brave thing to admit. You feel me? Love to be drunk on beer on a Tuesday morning. But if she doesn't see it as a problem, I don't see it as a problem. Now she tells us that Billy likes to peel the labels off his bottle of Bud. So Billy's anxious. We know that a person who picks and picks on their labels till you gotta ask who hurt you is anxious, and that's okay. But in this instance, I think Billy has lived a life where he's been doing things that got himself hurt. Now Billy moves on from his labels and he starts lighting oversized matches and letting them burn down as if the man's name is Ursher. Then he starts cussing out the burning matches. Billy. This is an establishment. Take that shit outside before you light one of those torn up Bud labels on fire, you fucking pyro. Next, we learn not only is Billy treating this bar like his own personal dump, the bottles of Bud he's been drinking are spinning around on the floor. I'm sorry, is this a bar or a barn? Sidebar, she also calls his finger thick. Slow down on those beers, you thirsty bitch. I don't like the way she said thick fingers. Now new characters walk in, a couple, and they are causing the bartender to look up from his want ads. Probably looking at the want ads because he's tired of cleaning up after Billy's bullshit. And I'll keep it honest, this couple is horny for each other. And I don't blame them. If they're rubbed up on each other at a bar on a Tuesday morning, they're wild and crazy and ready to drive the car to Bangtown, USA. Besides the bartender, it's just these four in the bar, and Sheryl is so drunk at this point, she thinks the bar is hers. Billy's trash is hers. The car wash across the street is hers. And the sun and the moon. All this woman and Billy have ever wanted to do was have some fun. It was a great song, and it still is. Thanks for the tune, Crowbird. I'm a lot like Sheryl Crow, too, because all I want to do is have fun. And have a wild night. And I tried to and succeeded last week. I had an improv show. My team crushed. I felt great about my own contributions on stage. The other teams performing did fantastic. It was wholeheartedly a night for the books. So after the show, we're doing the post-show hang. There's a group of 6 or 7 of us outside the bar laughing and smoking. We're having a time. We're having conversation that New York City moments are made of. Like in the movies. But we're doing this in Midtown. On 8th Avenue. And me and this particular group of people, well, we're well aware of what we're consenting to by choosing to fraternize here. It's a hellscape. And it's a hellscape of lost souls that all deserve our well wishes. Nevertheless, it can be scary at times. So as we're in the comfort of our giggle bubble, a white dude who's seen better days comes up to us and says, "Excuse me, can I get a few dollars?" My friend tries to offer him a cigarette. He takes it and still tries to ask for money. But I gotta respect him because he said a drink is $8.50. I only got $4.50. The bartender says I need to get $4 more. Sir, you could go to the liquor store and get you 2 nips for $4.50. Sure, it might be banana schnapps, but you could still sip. We aren't paying your bar tab. The bartender of where we were just at told me I couldn't order cheese fries because they're not on the menu. So the giving train stops here. Besides, Nobody's letting you in a bar, Calvin. You got shit on your pants and you smell like a gravedigger's closet. Go away. And then he did. After that, a not so bummish for the area man came up to us. A young black dude. He approached the group. He said he was watching the interaction. And when he approaches us, he says, man on the street style, were you guys comfortable with that interaction because that bum was your same race? White? Do you think you would have been comfortable with a person who wasn't your race bothering you like that? A lot to unpack here, first of all, in this circle of white I was in, with two of us being mixed, black and white. Upon first glance, one of us looks a little more believably mixed, and on second glance, and no mascara, I might look like I called the police on bird watchers. I immediately say, I'm not all white, I'm mixed. And we don't want anyone, it doesn't matter their creed, creation, or color, coming up to us and bothering us, because we're trying to have a vibe. He didn't believe the mixed comment. In fact, he rolled his eyes in a pissed way. Sir, I can't help it that in the right corset I look like I'm from the Victorian age. He did say to my friend, oh man, you mixed? But not me. Not grown-up Stephanie Tanner. Then he walked away, I think dissatisfied with the answers we gave him. And then before we could even spark the next J, here comes an older white gentleman. Gentleman, using the term lightly, looking down and out, getting close. And I'm telling you, he was getting real close. And maybe I should have kept my trap snapped. But after what we keep enduring, I say, nah, man, we're good. We're good. I know better than that. Here's where it takes a turn. He gets closer and he says, well, I'm not fucking good. I'm not fucking good. Yikes on motherfucking trikes, am I right? He had a plastic knife in his hand. He was finna stab a bitch. What the fuck? The men I was with, they got in his face, but he was looking for trouble in a huge way, and at my expense. We did wave over two cops who were playing Farmville on the corner, and one of them pointed at her chest and said, "Who, me?" Yeah, you. And listen, I would have never gotten 5-0 involved if he hadn't been of the Caucasian persuasion. And generally pretty ornery. But statistically, he was going to survive this interaction with the cops, so I didn't feel bad. The numbers were on his side. We got out of the situation, got by unscathed, very, very unscathed, thank the gourds. I do have a question, though. In regards to men in general, I've checked Amazon, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Etsy, Shopify. I've checked the local farmers market, CVS. I've also checked the dollar store. High and low, I've searched. I cannot, for the life of me, find where all these men every day are getting their audacity. Where are you getting your audacity from? Where can I purchase some of this audacity? And while we're on the topic of audacity, I just have a little piece of unsolicited advice. If you find yourself forming the sentence or being the deliverer of unsolicited advice, quit while you're ahead. You have the gorgeous option to be a quiet vessel with your opinion on the inside where it belongs. Shh, 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 shh. No one wants to hear your unsolicited advice. No one wants or values it. Shut up. But hey, that's just my unsolicited advice. That brings us to Rocky's highest thoughts, my most stoned thoughts of the week. Number 1, everything bagels are going to have to change their name to everyday bagels because I am eating them every damn day. Number 2, would you go on a date with someone if they were deathly allergic to peanut butter? Number 3, if humans grow babies in about 9 months, how long would it take a 40-foot giant to grow a baby? 14 months? 20? 4? And finally, number 4. Did Scott Stapp finally show his son everything? Thank you to everyone who's been submitting Wild Night stories. I cannot wait to get them on the show. And if you have a Wild Night story that you want to submit yourself, please do it. You can email me at wildnightswithrocky@gmail.com, or you can slide into those DMs. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can follow me at Wild Nights with Rocky on TikTok and Instagram, at Wild Nights Pod on Twitter. If you want to watch the show with your eyes, good news, you can do that on YouTube, so please subscribe there. You can also join my Patreon for $2 or $5 a month. A big thank you and a future thank you to everyone who's written and everyone who will write a review on Apple Podcasts. It really does make a difference. And until next time, stay wild.